how Dez Bryant stayed in the game after that, man. And it is a hairline fracture of his knee that they came out. And, you know, Russell Wilson has MCL strain. So, I mean, how these guys are tackling is causing some of the issues as well. Say that again, Professor.
How long are both of them going to be out?
I don't know. Russell Wilson is not going to be out. He is going to play, from what Pete Carroll said in his press conference today. But Dez Bryant definitely will be out for an undisclosed period of time at the moment.
Russell Wilson needs to be very careful. And see, that's the other thing. A lot of these guys, you know, are under pressure to try to keep playing. That's what Delvin was doing. And a lot of these guys are still trying to play while they're injured and stuff. And that's not good either, because that's why I think Tyron Armstead has not been able to heal. He's not healed. And as long as he keeps taking that pounding, that knee and that soft tissue, that injury he got, that's never going to heal. He has to totally come off physical contact and rest his body to allow it to heal. Because if you're going to continue to try to play with a nagging injury, it's never going to heal during the regular season. You know, it just isn't. And so then I know these guys are afraid of losing their starting jobs and their positions. But I think sometimes these coaches need to let their players heal, because I really believe that the Saints should have kept Keenan Lewis. And right about after that bye, Keenan Lewis probably would be 100%. If Coach Payton had just been patient to let him totally rest and get healed up by week 6. But now his impatience, you got rid of someone that now you really desperately need. You really desperately need, you know.
Well,
because
I mean, Professor, look at most of the moves that were questionable. Like you say, the Keenan Lewis. Now, all these injuries to the secondary. Look how they treated Barth as well as Forbath. Funny happenings in our secondary, our special teams, right? I mean, the list can go on and on how they questionably got rid of some of these players, man. CJ Spiller just got signed by the Seahawks today. That means, guess what? We're going to see CJ Spiller later on the season.
And you know what's going to wind up happening? It always,
yeah. We know what's going to happen. You have to go into it.
They have an unbelievable breakthrough game.
We've seen it before, man. We've seen it dozens of times. It's like all of my childhood, we saw it. We saw it with George Rogers. We saw it with, it's just going to happen again. It's going to happen again.
Yeah,
I hate to say it, but, it's so predictable.
That's it right there, Remy. This is what I tell Kyle all the time off the air. And this is what I'm saying to the listeners. And even I tell Frank when we're sitting here watching the game. This stuff with the Saints is so predictable. They'll probably go 0-4. They'll wind up, the Saints will wind up mysteriously maybe beating Carolina in the Superdome. Folks will get on the bandwagon and we're about to turn around. Then they'll go out to Kansas City, throw a dud. They might then turn around and beat San Francisco, some kind of way miraculously, beat Denver and Seattle. Something like that will happen, and they'll be 4-4, and everybody will be thinking, and this is the pattern that has been going on for the last 4 years.
4 years.
This stuff is so predictable. When Drew Brees gets behind by 2 touchdowns left, to throw a pick 6. Something's going to happen, or the ball going to bounce off. Something crazy going to happen as they're making the rally. Somebody for a touchdown. The injuries. If one person gets hurt in one unit, it's going to be like a disease, and it's going to ravage through the whole unit. So when Keenan Lewis was still struggling hurt, next thing you know, boom, Delvin gets hurt, PJ gets hurt, Kyle Wilson got hurt, Damian Swire. It just went through the whole unit. The whole unit. That's the same thing what happens now with the linebackers. Ella be hurt. Kikaha. I've never in my 40-something years of watching this, I have never seen nothing like a virus hits this team, and it just continues to plague it over and over and over. Just like you said, Kyle, the special teams. First week, you lose because the special teams or the defense can't stop 2 2-point conversions and 2 missed field goals. Okay, then the next week, you get a block punt that runs for a touchdown, so you lose that game. Then you have the Benny Hill snafu, as Remy said, and you lose that game. You give up 7 points that way. And you have this chronic, repetitious, what I call self-destructive things that happen to this team. I keep telling y'all, somebody has red socks with chicken feet underneath the Gerard or Poetry Street ramps. Somebody needs to go out there and check them gates because the Saints look like they got voodoo on them, like nobody's business.
Okay, guys. Well, hey, it does look good, guys. And, we can, and everybody's probably talked about all the stats and everything, what's going on with the Saints. I really believe a lot of what you say is true, Professor. And Remy, of course.
Even the chicken foot?
Even the chicken foot, no. But, but it makes you really wonder, man. It makes you really wonder if it was the right move to be able to. If this is one thing I would have probably done if I was Mickey Loomis. If you're going to come back, Sean Payton, as the head coach, we've got to make some significant changes somewhere in the system. If Mickey really looked at what was happening with the linebacking core, with our defensive line, I would have made these stipulations and recommendations. If you're going to come back, we've got to be able to make these moves and have. I don't like people losing their jobs, but Bill Johnson has not been as effective as we need him to be. Vitt has not been effective as the linebackers coach. So let's do something different, man. We've got to have some guys to come in to be able to put together their own staff. And it seems to be that from Greg Williams, remember Greg Williams came in and he kept Vitt on, right? He couldn't do anything about it. So you got to give these defensive coordinators the opportunity to be able to assemble their own coaching staff. If you don't give them that opportunity to do so, it's asking the cook to fix a nicely prepared dinner on a rusty garbage pail. It just doesn't work, guys. And logic would tell anybody, hey, if it's not working and we keep on trying to force it, that's part of insanity, and we got to do something different.
Yeah, you keep firing the defense, but you don't fire the unit coaches. This is Cam Jordan, sport defensive coordinator. You've gone from Greg Williams to Spags, Rob Ryan, and now Dennis Allen. You keep firing the defensive coordinator, but you don't change the unit coaches. You don't change the special teams coach, and you don't change the defensive line or the linebacker. And then you actually come in here and fix this defense, but you got the same ineffective unit coaches still in position.
Yeah.
Hey. Yeah.
Okay, Ron.
I mean, I was about to try to think of something profound to say, man, but it's not that complicated. You remember that AT&T commercial with the kids? When the girl wanted the baby brother, the puppy baby or whatever it was. The puppy brother, whatever it was. That's it's not that complicated, man. It's just like both of you said. You've gone through 4 different coordinators since Greg Williams. You kept all the same people in place, but you want to change the defense. You can't do that. It just doesn't make sense. It's not. It does not make. Somebody needs to explain it to me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hey, we love our team. We want to see them do well, and I don't want Who Dats to believe that we don't care about what's going on. We do care, and we do see
gotta,
some things.
We have to make the Saints great again.
We've Bigly.
And our defense, man, they have to build that wall.
That's right.
They have to build that wall.
That's right. In our governmental society, we've got to do this.
Yeah, got to build that wall, man, and make the other teams pay for it.
All right, man. Professor, you're quiet on this.
Okay.
What'd you say, Kyle?
I said you're quiet about all of this.
Because you know I'm not no Hillary fan.
I don't care about who fan you are, but you got to be bigly about it.
I'm just sitting here listening because I don't want either one of them. I'll make that totally clear.
All right.
Here's what we'll do, man. This is what we'll do then. All right. After November, after the election, whichever one wins, we will sign the other one to be the defensive coordinator. How about that?
Long as
they might do better than what we got. Kyle, let me say this, Kyle, and to all the listeners. You don't have to explain to the people that we love the Saints. The problem with, and I got to say this to my family in New Orleans, you have to face reality, and you cannot hang on to the past. You have to let some things go. Everyone, wanted this man to come back as coach. And I said it on the air, and I'll say it again. Coach Sean Payton has taken the New Orleans Saints as far as he's able to take them. He did a great job, a phenomenal job. Goes down right now as the Saints' greatest coach up to date. And we thank God for everything that he did. He brought us to Lombardi. I have nothing but love and affection for Coach Payton. It is over. I'm telling you this on the air, listeners. I'm saying it in front of Remy Cox. It's over. Let it go. Y'all should have let this man go. He did his job for 10 years. Let it go, Who Dat Nation. Let it go and move on. The LSU had to find out the hard way.
Exactly. That's exactly the point I was about to make. I mean, Les Miles came in. He got us a national championship. But, you have the number one running back in the country. And you can't get, you can't win with that kind of, no. It's time for Les Miles to go. And just like the LSU had to make that move, it may be time for the Saints to make that same move. If Sean's not willing to make some major changes in personnel, or if they can't do any changes above him in management, then something major has to change, because it's not getting done. I love walking in that dome and seeing that Lombardi, and I never thought I would live to see it. To be honest with you, the way our team always was, I never thought I'd live to see that day. Okay, now I've seen it. It's over. Let's bring somebody else in who's going to get it done. If you're not going to do it again.
Yeah, you can't keep living off of what happened in '09. I'm the same way as Remy. I said, I cried when the Saints won that Super Bowl because I thought this would never happen in my lifetime. But you can't hold off to what would happen in 2009 and trying to reassemble these same people. People have caught on to your pony show. They've caught on to it, and the area that you needed to fix was on the other side, on defense. For the last 2 to 3 years, that's what you should have been focusing on. Poor draft. You don't even go west on I-10, 80 miles away, and even try to even look at none of the players at a talented school like LSU. All of this buffoonery that have done. You've stretched on players, and all of this stuff. And what it has led to is this performance problem that you now have. And if your message doesn't right, and if your message don't work, whatever you and your staff is trying to convey to these young men, it is not working. Maybe the ability that you had to coach this group of people down here has been. I'm not saying the players don't love him and respect him. It's not translating on that play with Harris and Tommy Lewis. Just like Remy said, that took me back to 1973, 74, 75 with Archie Mann. Those are the kind of plays the Saints were making in the 70s. And I said this last year. I said, y'all, and you go back into the archives. I said, Kyle, Remy, Sharita, I sense that the spirit of losing and the old Saint spirit has resurrected